Hi guys, this week's a little bit different. Hold on one moment. Okay. This week's a little bit different. I wanted to come on here on better terms and not like how I am right now. And right now I'm upset. I'm furious. I have mixed emotions. And we're going to get into it. Because I feel like there's a lot of ignorance that's going on the internet this week. And I genuinely feel like that a lot of people are choosing to be ignorant. Whether it's fun to them or I'm not sure what, but it's frustrating. It's upsetting to see people act this way. Especially, it's 2020. I think how someone pointed out the other day, it's been 61 years since the civil rights movement. But it's kind of like what I saw a quote on, pretty much saying that racism isn't dead. It wasn't dead. It was hidden. Now it's being filmed. Now it's in front of our eyes. And now we have to deal with it. But now we have to choose how we deal with it. And there's a lot of, it's a lot going on. It's a lot. I did a video also. The video is going to drop tomorrow. But I'm going to go in more on here. I'm going to let you guys know now. If I get any ignorance in my comments, I'm blocking you. Flat and simple. I will block you. If you want to have an educational conversation with me, I am more than willing to. But if you're here on that ignorance or edgy comments because you think it's going to make you popular, I'm not the one. I'm really not. But let's get into it, shall we? As you guys know by now, they've been having protests and riots, and it's technically not because of those 3 murders. It's more because black people are tired of being hunted or treated like animals. Actually, worse than animals, because most people treat their animals better than black people. And this week is a huge eye-opener. And it sounds stupid to me because I just got out of a job with a bigoted, racist manager who made it a point every time he was around me to say something racist, something stupid, just because he thought he'd be edgy, and then remind me, oh, I'm not racist, I'm not racist. And I worked in an area where it was people who was entitled, and it's crazy because I grew up in that same area, and it was never like that when I grew up. Never like that. It was people who, it was the most integrated and like peaceful side of town. But now as an adult, all I see is entitlement and privilege. And I'm not going to say it's just white privilege, because there's even black people and Asians and Spanish folk who live in that area, and they feel like because they live in that area, they're entitled. They have that privilege. And I live in Florida, and originally I was supposed to actually do podcasting on Saturday of last week, when the riots hit my area. Hold on one moment. When the riots hit my area, and it was very eye-opening. It was devastating. I understand why they were rioting, but I also feel like they weren't doing it in the right areas. You want to show that you're a person. You want to show you're tired of the injustice. You're tired of being hunted and treated like you're less than. Then you take it to them. You take it to their neighborhood. You take it to their playing field. You do that shit at the police stations, at City Hall, in the privileged neighborhoods of the people who just rather silence a whole race and let them get wiped out. But then again, they have quite a good history of wiping out races. But you can't bring up history around them because they don't want to hear it. This has been going on for a while now, and it's gotten worse and worse because being a black person in America, I'm not even saying in America because this week has really opened my eyes, because even the black people in Britain they're not rioting, they're protesting. In Canada, were they protesting in Canada? I know in Britain they were, and somewhere else. And it was shocking because it was someone who actually got on and said that you think it's different because you're in Britain, and it's not. It's insane how little we've really grown as people through that 400 years. And it's sad. And it's pure ignorance. I want to say rest in peace to George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery. They didn't deserve to lose their lives the way they did. I don't care what excuse that the internet's going to bring up or the news crews are going to bring up. It's ridiculous. And this needs to stop. And furthermore, the injustice and the fact that the people who are supposed to uphold the law, they feel like they're above it. They feel like they're gods almost. Because they feel like they can do whatever they want. And that needs to stop. Especially with that video with George Floyd. You could tell the officer who had his knee on his neck, after a while, he was doing it deliberately. He was looking at the person with the camera in his or her face as he dug that knee in that man's neck even further. That's murder. He had full fucking content and intent. And for a while now, I honestly feel like officers are getting away with doing whatever to black people because it's black people. They didn't care. When it should be equal. If you kill someone and they didn't do anything wrong, you should be in jail. Plain and simple. Because the roles were reversed. If it was a black officer doing it to a white person, he'd have been in jail. There would have been no second, nothing. They wouldn't have thought about anything. He'd have been in jail so fucking fast. Sorry I'm taking so many breaks, but this is going to be a hard podcast for me because I'm going to vent. I'm going to let some shit out. And I feel like one of the things I want to let out is, why is this so personal to me? Why it kind of hurts to see how ignorant and how little people have went. Because I'm not going to even say it's just white people, because no, there's some black folks acting stupid and other races acting stupid and saying things too. And living in America, growing up, yes, I grew up in an area that's very integrated. I have Spanish friends, black friends, white friends. I think I had some Asian friends. I did. But anyways, we're not going there. But yes, I grew up very integrated. My parents taught me to love everyone, but they also taught me to be weary, because that love you give them, sometimes you may not get back in return. I'm very fortunate. Most of my friends, I do get that back in turn. It's been some few this week I've had to let them go, because I'm not playing that shit no more. Because how can you say you're my friend, but then say some shit online like I've been seeing? Like, all lives matter, and oh, how are you against this black man being killed, but you're not against cops being killed? Who said that? Who said we were not against cops being killed? But I do feel like if these cops are doing stuff wrong, they need to be prosecuted. And I honestly feel like maybe like when they were doing the cop killings, maybe if they would have been treating cops equally, we wouldn't have been having this issue. And what I mean by treating cops equally is, if they do something wrong, they get in trouble. And further than them just losing their jobs so they can go to another county or another state and work as another cop. Because how is that fair that at most of these cops who've been killing people for the longest, all they have to do is just go to another state. They're not in jail. There's very few, if any. And then people keep bringing up the whole black on black crime. I'm going to say this once. Yes, there's black people who kill black people. But there's white people who kill white people. There's Asians who kill Asians. There's Spanish who kill Spanish. So on and so forth. When you guys are doing it to yourselves, do you call it white on white crime? Or Asian on Asian crime? Or Spanish on Spanish crime? Is it like that? Why is it only black on black crime when it's convenient? Stop bringing that up. That's not the issue. And I feel like it's just a way for you guys to divert instead of listening to what the fucking issue is. And the whole situation. And I started watching the Ahmaud Arbery trial today too. And I had to click away from it. This week has been very emotional for me, because I'm not used to I am so the opposite towards what I've been dealing with and what I've been seeing. But I'm raising kids, and I have to raise them how my parents raised them now still. I have to remind them, yeah, you can be friends with these other races, but you need to watch your back. And then I really, this week, got that slap in the face being on Facebook, watching the live streams from my news stations, because I don't really have a TV I watch often, so I watch my live streams on Facebook. And it's like the level of bigots and idiots and bullshit that I've heard and saw on there from people who think, ooh, I'm just gonna be edgy and write all lives matter, or let's all get our trucks and we'll go run over the protesters. Because yes, that was actually what someone wrote while they're peacefully protesting in the middle of a highway. Because you're uncomfortable about the live stream, then step the fuck off of it. You didn't have to get on there. You got on there because you wanted to be stupid. And then I've never thought I had to explain why people are protesting Black Lives Matter so much. But I've had to all week. And I feel like this. If you have black friends, if you dated black people, or you're currently dating black people, if you happen to be screwing around, fooling around, fucking around, you have a baby by a black person, you like black culture, you rap a lot, you like to listen to rap music, or anything like that, and you're not saying Black Lives Matter, please leave our culture the fuck alone after this. Stop fucking black dudes. Go back to your own race, because apparently that's what you want. Because it's baffling seeing a lot of these people who I know. You've dabbled, you've went around, I mean, hell, even this one girl who I took off my Facebook, she dates Spanish dudes quite often, but then she's talking about all lives matter and you guys are not right with these protests. No, what wasn't completely right were the riots and tearing up the town. That wasn't right. I understood it because you're frustrated and you're tired, but it's not right. What's not right is the fact that this same person, when Miss Rona started acting up not that long ago, came to me crying because she lost her job and was being harassed and got sprayed with Lysol, all because she was British. And I felt bad for her, but I also didn't know what to say. Because this person, she feels like she's entitled a little too much. She got her wake-up call. She didn't listen to it. I hope she listens to it in the future, because she's probably gonna go through hard shit. And I've had other friends, like people who I went to school with, who I'm cool with. I thought I was cool with them, and I realized this week, nope. Because just as quick, I was deleting people off my Facebook. Because I don't play that. I'm sorry. Like, you're sitting here contradicting and saying things like all lives matter and all this. No one said that not all lives matter. That's not what we're coming up with. We're not saying only Black Lives Matter. That's not it. Because once you wake up in the morning and have to pray before you walk out the door that you might possibly not come home, or you pray for your brothers, your sisters, your mother, your father, your kids, that they can come home in one piece, without a bullet hole, without no traumatizing events, then come talk to me. But until then, miss me with that bullshit. Because none of you are being hunted down and treated like fucking less than a fucking animal. And if anyone is really on that Trump shit and you're Jewish or Polish or... No. Wait, especially if you're Jewish and you're not seeing those signs that he's doing a lot of shit that's familiar to Hitler, you hate yourself. You hate yourself, you hate your religion. Fun and simple. Because that whole thing he did this week with him kicking out the protesters and all that, that was some Hitler shit. Hitler stood in front of a church with a Bible. He is trying to cite some shit so he could stay as president. And he's trying to cover up shit. Because Anonymous has been dropping a whole bunch on him. But we're gonna, that'll be another day, another podcast. And then these brands and celebrities. I'm gonna give you guys the best advice I can. This week, once again, it's been an eye-opening week. Because you're seeing celebrities saying things that they shouldn't be saying, which I'm going to get in that in a few minutes. And you're seeing brands or companies that's giving Trump money. So you're okay with this shit. But you have like Wendy's, Taco Bell, Krispy Kreme, Chick-fil-A, it's been Papa John's, Domino's. All these companies have been funding Trump's re-election. And in not little ways, big money. So pretty much in not so many words this week, I learned that I need to go and start eating from home. And I'm probably going to be on a diet because that was quite eye-opening. And I feel like, honestly, another thing we can do besides protesting, stop giving our money out to people who don't give a shit about us. And if you work for that company, please look for another company that is actually going to give a shit about you. Because there's way too many black people I see work at Wendy's, Taco Bell, Krispy Kreme, Chick-fil-A, KFC's part of that shit too. It's way too many black people. And we're representing this racist piece of shit. And then to top it off, none of these companies have came out and said anything about they're here for black lives or they're here for the black community. Nope. Because I happen to be a member of Chick-fil-A from the app. Krispy Kreme, I have that app. And Domino's. Yeah, I haven't seen nothing. Meanwhile. And the clothing companies, the ones that are standing up, I appreciate it. And the ones that's not, I'm not buying nothing from you guys. I was actually gonna before I lost my job, I was gonna do an order with Dolls Kill because I saw these pants I really wanted, and I just gonna try out some of their clothes. Then I saw the first group of like stuff why you shouldn't try their stuff, and I was already like, not gonna do it. Then I saw the Instagram post that the owner put out, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm really not gonna do it now. If you really want to hurt these big companies, you want to hurt these big people, make them listen, you hurt them where it hurts the most. And that's in their wallets, in their pockets. Instead of giving out your money to them, find something local. Find something black owned. But also make sure that not only is black owned, but they actually know, like, they're for the cause. Because some things is black owned and some people who are black are sitting here saying the same shit that these other people are saying. And they're not helping the cause. And I'm going right into the celebrities. Celebrities, there's been some that's out there protesting, being out there helping out. That I appreciate. Then there's some that are being opportunistic. Then there's some who need to get a history lesson or two or several and shut the fuck up. trying to figure out who I want to go in on first. Fuck it, I'll go with Trina. I live in Florida. I'll go with the Florida person first. Trina went on her radio station and pretty much called the same people who helped her get to where she was at, because your fans possibly were in that group. Your fans were probably listening for you to give them like some type of encouraging words and saying Black Lives Matter. Instead, Trina showed how much of a selfish bitch she is and how she doesn't care about her fans, and she understood, and she pretty much showed why she's at where she's at in her career. Why she didn't blow up any bigger than what she could have been. And I feel like, honestly, she could have shut the fuck up about it. She could have said, I hope these officers get arrested. You could have left it cut point. That's it. But no, she got on there and calling the people of Miami animals, and she was talking about the fact her friend's shop got burnt and got wrecked, which I'm sorry for her friend. Then she was talking about her brother who died from a black person. Once again, I'm sorry for your loss. But why are you bringing this stuff up? Well, the friends thing, that's current. That's actually have to do with that. But this is also going off that point. Stop affecting your own neighborhoods. Take it to the areas that they need to listen, because they won't listen as long as you're messing up your own shit. That could have been put out there. And Trick Daddy was trying to help her out, trying to save her. But you can't save some idiots. Some idiots need to jump completely off the fucking cliff. And that's what happened with Trina. And you should be fucking embarrassed. Because Miami's your city. You're supposed to be representing for Miami. And you're calling your own, like, city animals? Because they're upset? Because they're tired? And you're talking about, oh, I got money. Guess what? Your fans don't always have money. Guess what? Some of your fans probably came from the bottom. And you're sitting here talking all this cash shit about them. It doesn't make you sound no better. I need you to get some therapy right along with fucking Doja Cat's ass. And figure out what the fuck is wrong with you two. And I'm happy to the point Doja Cat hasn't brought her ass back up this week after the bullshit she pulled. And I honestly feel like the apology she put out, it was bullshit. She pretty much said, yeah, I did it. So what? Fuck y'all. That's pretty much what she could have said, instead of having that long 20-minute Instagram post about bullying everything she did. And having other ways to say it. And it wasn't really too many sorries in that. I mean, when she did say sorry, it wasn't genuine. And you could tell when someone was genuinely sorry. Doja Cat's been taught to hate her black side. And instead of saying, I need to get some help, she tries to deflect and be like, oh, well, fuck y'all. That's me. That's who I am. No. Because once again, you're another person. Because you're not you don't make music for white people to listen to or other races to listen to. You're making rap. And you're doing stuff with black people or for black people to watch. And the fact that you're not, I'm trying to figure out the right word to say about it. You're not educated enough on your own culture, well, part of your culture, and you're saying whatever you feel like it because you think it's okay. It's ignorance. And you're being fucking ignorant about it, and it's stupid. And you sound stupid. So I need you to go get some therapy. Maybe you need to meet with your father, spend some time with him, learn some shit. And then it's been a lot of different celebrities have been doing some ignorant shit this week. Because even it's a YouTuber who I watch, and she lives in Minneapolis, and unfortunately it's been bad for her this week. Because her city's literally in flames. And she actually brought it up that a lot of these fake woke black celebrities are telling people, oh yeah, you need to do that, you need to ruin that. Didn't do it. But then when it came to their states, then instantly, no, what are you guys doing? Why are you doing this? I'm not saying that per se, because I understand why they possibly felt like they need to do this. But also, I feel like you guys did it in the wrong area. Because they're not going to listen when you screw up your own neighborhood. They're just going to look at you like you're an idiot. So, the next celebrity I'm going to hit on is Drew Brees, because I actually heard his remarks today. And I know he said something when Colin Kaepernick was doing the kneeling and other athletes start doing it with him. And he was talking about it's insulting to his grandparents, his grandfathers, because they both fought in the wars. And I'm going to cut him off right there. Both my grandmother and my father fought in the wars. My grandmother didn't give me too many stories about it, but I know, like, when she got back, she dealt with a lot. My father, though, he was a Navy diver. And he would get it during the war from his own people who he's supposed to be fighting with. He would tell me about fights that he would have to go. He would get in with his own people, his own crew. And then when he came back, he still treated like nothing more than less than just a nigger. And I don't want to hear about what his grandfathers fought for. Because both my grandmother and my father fought for the same thing. There's plenty of black veterans that fought for the same fucking thing. And when they came back from these wars, they were still treated like nothing less. I honestly feel like the ignorance needs to stop. And instead of trying to find every reason you can so you stay ignorant, educate yourself. Information's out there. They're trying to hide it, but it's still out there. Even if you want to sit down and talk to a black person, that'd be better than you guys saying stupid shit. And then another situation that happened that kind of collided with the 3 murders, and it happened in New York, and that's with that her name was Amy Johnson or something like that. And oh my god, I can't remember the guy's name, but this guy was bird watching in the park, in the area for bird watching, and there's a clear sign saying, if you have your dog, put him on a leash. Miss Amy, no, she's a Karen. Oh no. Karens don't listen to the rules. Karens do whatever they want because they're above it. And the guy told her nicely, can you put your dog on a leash because it's going to scare away the birds? And she says, I'm calling the police and telling them you're attacking me. Are you serious? And then if you watch that video, she does that. And she screams and acts like this man's actually hurting her. I'm happy he got out of there on time. But I still feel like Miss Amy needs to go to jail too, because that's a falsified reason. There could be someone dying across town, and you call the police for that shit because you don't want to take care of your animal, and then you're choking your fucking dog. I'm so happy you lost your fucking job and the dog. Because apparently, you don't know how to take care of either one. Or be a decent human being. Because you don't want to follow the rules. Because you're a Karen. And yep, I'm calling all white people Karens. Because that's how you're acting. When you're pulling this shit, you're being uneducated. You think you're above the rules. And you can say whatever you want to people. And it's okay. Yeah, we can all say whatever we want. But understand, someone else is not going to like what you want to say, what you have to say. And they may want to set some hands on you. They may want to fight. So I hope you can fight. And don't pull out a gun or a bow and arrow like that one guy at the protest and then talking about, I said all lives matter and they wanted to kill me. No, you pull out a fucking bow and arrow and try to shoot them. Really? Or the one woman who was in there stealing shit from Target and then start stabbing people. Are you kidding me? In the wheelchair? But you know, you're only pointing out the black people who's rioting and looting. And forgetting there was white people out there looting. There's even white people out there staging bricks to make sure it's going to be a riot. It's going to be a situation. Because even my city has found bricks this week. And they had a state hall meeting about it. And had the bricks part of the meeting. That was interesting. And there's a lot of conspiracy theories towards this. I don't want this to go on too much. I don't want to keep going with this podcast. I just want to say, before you go and shut people down who've been shut down for centuries, for decades, for years, you need to listen to them. You need to understand it's not as easy as you guys do. Because it's not. It's really not. And be more understanding if y'all were actually somewhat educated in it. But no. You choose the ignorance you bathe in. You bask in that shit. You eat it, you breathe it in, you inhale it, you snort it like it's cocaine. You deal with your ignorance. And you'd rather keep that ignorance all up in you than learn the fucking truth. Right now, Black Lives Matter. And the reason why people are saying that is because it feels like we're being wiped out. Good night, everyone.